Hey guys, so in today's video, I kind of wanted to go over or kind of talk about what happened during my first two co-treatments at physical and occupational therapy. So in a previous video, I had talked about like why we're doing co-treatments and what the co-treatments are and how the therapists thought that it would benefit me. But if you haven't watched that video, I'll give a really quick rundown of what it is. So a co-treatment is basically when we are doing occupational therapy and physical therapy during the same session. And there's multiple reasons why they had suggested doing this. The first treatment, the first co-treatment, I should say, did not go very well. So they had actually had all of my future visits scheduled as co-treatments, but because of how the very first session went, with occupational therapy taking up way more time than physical therapy got, um, it just, the therapist from physical therapy basically wanted to do less co-treatments and split it up. So basically what they want to do now is they want to do one session a week as a co-treatment and one session a week where they're separate. So I'll have one like occupational therapy session and one physical therapy session, one right after the other on the dates where I don't have co-treatments. So I actually had this happen for the first time last week. This week they weren't able to separate the co-treatments, so both of my therapy sessions this week are actually two therapy sessions in one. So I will have co-treatments for both my physical therapy and occupational therapy sessions this week, or all four, I guess I should say. So we're doing that all together, and I really don't mind it. It is very much more intense than a regular therapy session because I really have to focus a lot to get my body to do the things that they're asking me to do. However, I don't mind it because I feel like I've been making more progress doing it this way than doing it separately. I've been making progress separately as well, but I feel like it makes me focus more. It makes me pay attention more to what my body needs to do in order to work together or have my body systems work together to do everyday tasks. So I just wanted to give you guys that little information as well. The second co-treatment session went a heck of a lot better than the first one did. It was with different therapists, and they had a lot of like progress working together. I was able to do a fist bump with my right hand to the physical therapist prior to leaving that co-treatment session, which is a heck of a lot of progress. If you guys haven't been following my progress with physical and occupational therapy works on your arm. And I have been paralyzed on my right side since October of 2024. And as I am filming this, it is the last week of February 2025. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of the time range there, I had not been able to move since January as far as my hand goes. So it is a heck of a lot of progress in a short amount of time. I started getting finger movement back. I started getting movement like front and back with my shoulder joint. And it's just been a lot of progress in a short amount of time, like I said. So being able to use my hand, my right hand and arm, to fist bump the physical therapist at the co-treatment session was a huge win for me. I was super excited, and both the occupational therapist and the physical therapist or physical therapy assistant were both super excited to kind of see that I was able to do that. So like I said, this co-treatment session, the last one, went way, way better. They were each able to focus the treatment on what they needed to focus on. I did get we practiced, as far as physical therapy, we practiced like shifting my weight and weight bearing on my right leg and my left leg, practicing doing that kind of thing. We used a chair to kind of shift my weight forward and backwards, which really felt weird on that right leg where I had the paralysis and weakness, but it's feeling weird in a different way than it was before. Like I still feel weak. I feel very, very weak, and my limbs feel heavy, but I feel like it's a different, it's really hard to explain, but it is a different feeling. And I don't know how else to explain that to you guys. If you guys have ever had this type of an issue before, then you might know what I'm talking about. Like, it feels weak, and it feels like cement is attached to it, or like some sort of weighted anchor or something is attached to the limb, but it feels like it's getting stronger. Like I said, I wish I knew a better way to explain that to you guys, but I don't right now. So if I figure out a better way to explain it, I will make another video explaining it further. But yeah, I'm really glad that the co-treatment sessions are going well, or that the second co-treatment session went better than the first one. Because I was a little worried. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to make as much progress as they were hoping that I would. But actually, next week is my next reassessments for both physical therapy and occupational therapy. So I guess we will see what happens there. I have not been able to walk or anything where I'm able to take like a full step. A lot of it is still like dragging my foot because I can't lift my foot completely off the floor without assistance. Whether that is with the unweighting machine, where they kind of take some of your body weight off of your limbs, where you're strapped up in the harness and it raises you up off the floor so that you can, not completely up off the floor, but it raises you enough to, like I said, take some of your body weight off of you. I'm able to drag or kind of like slowly move my foot in a dragging motion to move in a different direction. Yeah, that sounds a little weird, but I don't know how else to better explain that either. But yeah, I'm making a lot of progress, but there's still a lot of progress that needs to be made. And so I hope that this just continues to get better. And I'm very hopeful that eventually in the future, I'll be able to get to using a walker maybe, or get out of the wheelchair, because I really want to be out of this wheelchair as soon as possible. But yeah, that is how the first 2 co-treatment sessions went. Like I said, glad that the second co-treatment session went better than the first, and we shall see how this week goes, because like I said, tomorrow and Thursday are my therapy sessions this week, and they're both co-treatments. So we shall see how they go. The one thing that I like about these is that I only have to be at the rehab center for 45-minute sessions. And as opposed to like 2 45-minute sessions, since they do both of them together, it is helpful because I don't have to sit there and wait for 2 different therapy appointments. But, you know, if that is what I have to do, then that is what I am very willing to do. So anyways, that is it for today's video. If you guys have any questions or anything that you'd like me to talk about in my next video, then let me know and I will make a video about it. And yeah, I will talk to you guys next time.